Like, I prayed on it, and actually probably 2 days straight, I prayed. And I was like, no, this is the right thing to do. Mm-hmm. I can't be in his way because there's something out there for him. I don't know. He has to go and find out. But this is not it. This is not it. You may probably not would have been a supervisor here or whatever, but even where you're at right now, your income is higher than my supervisors. So I knew at that time that when I prayed on it, it wasn't the path for you. Mm-hmm. And so I called him up and we had a conversation and I told him, if you want the boss's view, you gotta sacrifice. If you wanna move like bosses move.
YMA, Young Millionaires Association. Yeah, see, that's the association.
Okay. Hey, guys, welcome to YMA Nation Podcast, episode number 59. 59. Man, I think like every episode we have to just do like a round of applause. Episode number 59. Guys, thank you for joining us. If you are on, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. The like button is the little thumbs up. Go ahead and press that button. Make sure down in the comment section you hashtag YMA Nation and subscribe. Click it. It's like just click the subscribe button and boom, you will be notified every time a new episode comes on. We are going to give away $2,000. $2,000.
How do I get into this?
Okay, so for everybody to know too, I'll tell everybody at the same time. All you have to do during our show, I'm going to provide the audience and the viewers with the keyword. And then down in the comment section, you'll see the link that says click here to put in the keyword and it'll take you to a website. And all you have to do is just put in the keyword and you'll be in it to win $2,000.
That's easy money right there.
Easy money.
Oh, man, that's easy money right there.
And if down in the comment section, if you hashtag YMA Nation, you go into the drawing an extra time.
Hey, you'll see my name in there a couple times. Then after this, I promise.
You want to know how? Okay, there's more chances to go in the drawing. So on our Facebook page, YMA Nation Facebook, if you go on the Facebook page, every show that comes out, all you have to do is just share it on Facebook.
Okay.
Your name goes in the drawing. And on Facebook, if you hashtag down in the comment section, YMA Nation, your name goes in the drawing.
Ooh, okay, yeah, you just giving it out for free just like that. That easy right
I mean,
there.
it's that easy. And you have more chances to win, not just, okay, so out of the 2,000, there's going to be 15 people to win $100. One grand prize person will win $500.
Okay.
So
I got a couple of chances to
win. You got a couple of chances to win. I mean,
right,
there's people online right now that does everything. They like comment in the comment section. They do everything. They share on Facebook. They put the hashtag on Facebook, hashtag YMA Nation. So like certain people, they win like 5-6 times.
Okay. I see it then. I see what they're doing. Oh yeah, you're gonna see me there then.
Easy money.
See me there
Easy
then.
money.
Oh.
I don't know. We could put you in. We have to. We might have to have rules. They'll be like, oh no, that's the dude that was on the show. they cheating. That's how he won.
Okay. Come up with some rules and stipulations from
that. Rules,
that's fine.
yeah.
That's fine. I'll be in the next one.
Because right now it's like families and employees can't win.
Okay.
So we may have to create something for the guests too. You know how people think like, oh, that's the only way they won because he was on the show.
Well, if you win, tag me in it and rub it in my face because I can't win it.
There you go, guys. So we got Michael Goergy on the show today. And I know everybody think like, what did he do? Is he a millionaire? What does he do? So if you read the title of this episode, it's called One of the Hardest Decisions I Made. And it's talking about me. One of the hardest decisions I made. And you might know, because I said that I was going to bring you on to talk about the show. But I'm telling you now that our interaction years ago was one of the hardest decisions I made.
So we one of the hardest experiences I went through, man. It made me who I am today, though. So, through, whatever happened. It was a learning experience. So we'll get into it.
We're going to get into it, yeah, because I got some questions for you.
Okay.
All right. So first, before, let's start off with you.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about your upbringing. Like, who is, I could call you Mike, right?
Yeah.
Right, so
go ahead.
Tell us about Mike.
I'm from Greenville, South Carolina, born and raised. My upbringing, I was basically, raised by my grandmother, Rebecca Brown. She took care of me, provided for me, got me through school, definitely made sure that I had everything that I needed to be taken care of, food, clothes, and stuff.
Pause. Rebecca Brown.
Yes,
Rebecca
sir.
Brown.
Yes, sir.
Good job.
Yeah, she really took care of me, and I mean, we might not have been in the best situation. We might have been in like a lower class environment as well too, but she spoiled me. I had everything I wanted: video games, clothes, the new Jordans that came out if I asked for them. Like she made sure I never went without. And she worked real hard for that.
That's good.
So my upbringing was being raised, taken care of by her, and just watching a hard working woman, raise me into the man that I am today. That's why I give back to her as much as I can.
Good. When you say give back to her, that's good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'll take care of that woman now.
Tell me. Okay, so let's start off. That's you growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about you now. Well, hold on, because now that might be a spoiler alert. If you just talk about now. Actually, yeah. So tell us about like what do you do now on a day to day?
What I do now is, I work a lot. I learned that from you. You're not going to get it if you're not out there working for it. So I do work a lot. I work for Spectrum. Been there this will be my 3rd year this year. And man, that job has been a life changer. It's been life-changing experiences thanks to that job. The hard work that I put in it, I definitely got that back to me in tenfold. I mean, from being blessed to, being able to financially take care of myself, get my own everything from my own home, my own car, making sure I can afford everything and still have my head under the water, and also still take care of my grandmother, whenever she needs anything.
Have you hit above the water or under the water?
Yeah, keep my head above the water.
Above the water.
Yeah. I ain't trying to be below the water anymore.
That's right.
And, all that is a testament to the work that I had to put in to get there, though. One thing that I see about my generation is that we get on social media, see all these guys that are living successful lives, but we don't get to see the work that's put in behind it to get there. And one other thing is that our generation kind of feels like, success and all the stuff we want should just be handed to us. And it's not like that. It's not a perfect world. Nothing's going to ever be handed to us. So I definitely just got that in my mental. A lot of it thanks to you, just being around you, hearing how you just talk about stuff whenever you talk to me. It can just be little conversations we had, whether it was, at work when we both worked together at Alorica or just us having a conversation on the phone. I knew that if I really wanted to reach my goals and be successful, I really had to work for it. It's not going to get handed to me. So I'm in a stage in my life right now to where working towards those goals. I've set short-term goals, long-term goals for myself that I've been able to achieve over the time, and I'm just only 23 now.
23 years old. 23
years old, and I'm really blessed to really be where I'm at right now. At 23 years old, I have a lot of friends, I have a lot of family, I have a lot of people that look up to me. I really try to push my peers.
At 23?
Yeah, 23. Try to push my peers, especially the younger generation that's within me, like my friends, anybody that I see that's like around my age that I can give any kind of words of wisdom to, I try to. I didn't really start
at 23 talking about words of wisdom.
I mean, just from my experiences, because I never really started getting that until I met you. I didn't have people in my life, family or nobody. I didn't have nobody in my life that lived, a successful life, had good credit, were able to, financially take care of, themselves. Everybody was living check to check. And the knowledge that I was able to get from you far exceeded any knowledge I got my whole life from high school, going slightly into adulthood before I met you. I mean, yeah, we learned you got to go to work to take care of your bills and stuff, but we don't learn a lot that really what it takes to really get past a certain level, especially when all you've been around was, a certain type of living.
Right.
So my goal and objective, one thing was to just break that cycle and also get out of always being called I kind of got picked on because like I said, my grandmother took care of me. So a lot of people pitting on me thinking that I was just going to grow up being used to being taken care of and not wanting to do nothing for myself and not get it for myself. And I proved a lot of people wrong. puts a smile on my face when I do it. But I proved a lot of people wrong with that.
You know what's interesting is that, because I could just go back and take out key things during our conversation. Already, it's been a couple of minutes, but at your age, 23 years old, you saying, I got my own place, I got my own cars, I got good credit, I got all these things that I need. I got a good job, paying me well, I live above my means. At 23 years old. And then you pointed out the fact that, you know, my generation of people around me, I try to push them. Like, you don't really see that at that age. It's like everybody just out, they want to party, they want to chase behind whoever, the girls, the boys, like, and like they're not thinking about tomorrow or the following year. So and the reason he's on the show, and let's go back to where it all started from.
Oh,
so
yeah.
How did we meet? Because it's not how we met. We worked in the same place, right? So he worked in a certain department, and I worked in...
You worked in ECR.
ECR.
You were the senior operations
manager, right?
Escalation or customer escalations or something like that. I know it was ECR though, the acronym for it. And by the time I actually started meeting you and conversating with you, I was a quality analyst for HA, Home Appliances.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was before you went. Oh, okay. So you was in quality at that time over like a certain product.
Yeah. Yeah, for HA. I only was in HA when we worked at Alorica. I was on the phones for maybe 3.5 months, maybe 4, and then immediately became a QA. Yeah. And I figured, guys, y'all understand, man. I seen this guy all the time walking around and stuff, man. He was not intimidating, but you can tell this man was about business, you know. So never knew when the right time was to really just try to approach him. It's almost like trying to walk up to Jason Zell or somebody. You never know, you know, like, oh, man. So, you know, when I got into quality, our department just happened to be right there where his office was. And I happened to just see you in there one day. And our first conversation wasn't about nothing about life success or anything like that. It was simply me just walking in there asking you, hey man, any advice you can give for somebody that wants to get into a higher position like you? Maybe one day I want to try to get into a manager, a senior operations manager position. And once he seen that a young dude was really just coming in there trying to get as much knowledge as he can, I mean, you were speeding it to me. And then that conversation turned to you asking me the most important real question I ever been asked, that I appreciated that you asked me this, and it was something so simple as well too, but it was a serious question that I finally really had to answer to somebody and had to think for myself.
This is my first time hearing this too.
Yeah.
This is my first time hearing this.
It was, what were your goals? I was young. I was just coming to work, making my check, going out, having fun. I had no goals. I had no aspirations to want to get somewhere. I had nothing that I had set to want to achieve. I just literally was coming to work to make the check, pay the bills, and live life. When you asked me that, and it seriously made me really reflect on, gosh, what are my goals? What do I want to do with my one life that I have, that if I use this time and take it for granted, I might not be able to do it again?
Right.
That simple question right there really made me think hard about my future. What are my goals? What do I want to do? What can I bring to the table? What do I have to offer the world? It was just those simple questions. And when you asked that, man, it was over with.
Do you recall the year that was?
It was 2017.
Oh, that was right when I was leaving then.
2017.
Man.
Yes, sir.
So I left in April the 17th of 2017. I still know the exact day. I met you at the
very beginning. We started really like connecting and talking at the very beginning of 2017, right before I even found out that you were planning on leaving. Yep.
That's interesting. So now here's where the plot started, right? So silence. It's about to get suspenseful. Mm-hmm. So here's where the plot started. I left in April of 2017, and I became a full-time entrepreneur at that time. And we were growing the company, and I was thinking, I always think you gotta hire the right people. That's key. You gotta put the right people in place. And so I was thinking, I'm like, you know what? That young kid from Quality, that young man is driven. He's educated, and he's a quick learner. So I was like, you know what? Let me contact him. And I remember, I don't know if it was a phone call or whatever, and you was like, yeah, like 2-week notice like that. I was like, okay, man, we got a stallion coming. And I'm telling Rebecca, I was like, hey, he's going to do good. I know because I work with him. If there was a task that needed to be done and your manager was not at her desk, I could go to you and like, hey, can you take care of this, or can you pull this call? You will always be on it.
I was lead QA by then.
Lead QA, send the results, very thorough. I said, okay, yeah, that's what I'm gonna hire. So then Mike came to work for Masters Credit Consultants. You recall how long that time was at the company?
How long I was working there?
Yeah.
Man, maybe a month.
A month?
maybe a month.
It seems so bad now, only a month.
Maybe a month. I mean, we'll get to the reason why.
Okay, all right.
Maybe a month.
So this is the story. So Mike came to work for Masters Credit Consultant at the beginning of the company growing.
Very beginning, yeah.
And you reported right under Rebecca, and she's our CEO now. So she was like the lead manager at the time.
I started off checking it every other week, just like most people do. Then it got out of control. I couldn't help myself. I started checking it day after day after day. I didn't realize that I was becoming addicted until my wife said something.
What did she say?
She said, it's just a credit score, relax.
Are you checking your credit score?
Huh? Hold on.
And so I'm like, how's everything going? Boom. So I'm getting the updates every day. And she was like, I think he kind of, I don't know if it's like he having a challenge doing this and this and this. So then I came down because we started at the house in the basement. Yeah. People don't know. People see the office now. Like, this is at the basement. This young man, I trusted to work inside of our home. And he came and we had the office laid out.
Oh, it was nice.
It was like an office down there, but I trusted him. And after a few weeks, maybe 2 or 3 weeks, we had a conversation like, hey, you have to catch on, like, da-da-da-da-da. And they're like, man, I'm trying my best. And I said, I know you gonna get it. And then like that 4th week, maybe, then Rebecca, like, I don't think he getting it. I'm like, what? Show me. And then she would like pull the stuff up and I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And okay, so now this is where it goes to one of the hardest decisions, because one, having you asking someone to leave their job and come and work for you, and you was like, yeah, just like that. And how long were you at Alorica?
Oh, 2 years.
2 years.
2 years and 3 months.
2 years.
2 years and 3 months.
He got it locked down. 2 years and 3 months.
2 years and 3 months.
He left a job and came because he trusted me, obviously. And after a month, I was like, you know, as an entrepreneur and as a business owner, you have to make tough decisions. And this was hurtful on my end too. So now we're having this conversation between you and I. And I was like, man, I called him up and I was like, Mike, you know, God have a path. You know, because I'm always going to be 100. I'm always going to be real. And, you know, I'm a firm believer that everyone has their course in life. And I was like, you know what? What I thought was right probably was not the course for your life. And so what I was doing, I was like, you know, this may be a step for you. You know, you use this as a stepping stone, but I don't feel that this is your course in life. So I don't like, so I'm going to have to like terminate your employment. And just like even saying that now, like terminate your employment, just seems like a harsh phrase to say.
No, I understood.
And I could just recall like that day when, you know, you left, and I was like, damn, man, like that was hard. Cause it's like a friend, like you like telling like a friend, an associate, and someone that trusted and put all their trust in you. But I knew, I said, because before that time happened, that day, I prayed on it. And I prayed on it, and actually probably 2 days straight, I prayed, and I was like, no, this is the right thing to do. I can't be in his way, because there's something out there for him. I don't know. He has to go and find out. But
Exactly
this is
what it
not it. This is not it. You may probably now would have been a supervisor here or whatever, but even where you're at right now, your income is higher than my supervisors. So I knew at that time that when I prayed on it, it wasn't the path for you. And so I called him up and we had a conversation and I told him I just had to let him go.
Yeah.
Are you okay to talk about the experience?
I mean, oh man, it was terrible.
I mean, don't curse on the show and be like, I wanted to F you up.
No. Look, one thing you got to understand, you know, when it comes to work, business, anything like that, personal stuff is out of the way at that point. And this is a business this is your baby. I said it to you actually. You know, this is your baby. You built this from the ground up, and like I'm like your babysitter that you trust in. But yeah, I keep on letting the baby fall off the couch. You know, so
that's a good analogy.
Yeah, and I never held no resentment towards you, Rebecca, or anybody for it. I mean, just like you said, it just wasn't for me. That wasn't it. I mean, even though I gotten a lot better with credit, I know a lot more now about it. I still struggle with it. It's not my best subject. So I mean, you know, that honestly, like you said, it just, you know, some things they're just not for you. It was just, it's not your path. And at the time, it was real terrible. And my biggest thing was I was just like, you know, forget me leaving the job and stuff like that, man. I was just like, man, I let down the most important dude in my life right now that I just met that really could have helped me get somewhere, and I just fumbled the play. I fumbled the play, and I was really seriously beating myself up hard because of that for a while, because after that, I struggled for a while. There was challenges after challenges after that. I couldn't go back to Alorica. You know, this job, it was over with. You know, there's no going back. So now I'm in a position where, you know, the stuff that I've been doing for 2 years, I can't go back and do no more. Something that I was just trying to learn, just wasn't getting it. I definitely can't do that for another company. I still don't know it like that. I had to learn something new. It put me in an uncomfortable position. It put me in a position where I just had to branch out and try new stuff, which I did. Some worked, some didn't. Transitioned a couple jobs, went to a plant. That was terrible.
The plant was terrible?
Oh, man. You know, because we work in business, you know what I mean? So going from
comfortable
business,
in air-conditioned environment, sitting down all day.
And for going from that to standing for, I was working at Magna Drop, man. It was 8 hours a day, 19 days straight. You
Well, that's a big plant out here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was tough. It was
You
grueling.
standing up for 8 hours?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It was grueling, and I did that for a couple months because I mean it kept the bills paid,
right?
But it was still had me struggling. So I finally got to do door to door for AT&T. That was my first ever sales gig ever.
Okay.
And I don't know, like probably like the feeling you got when you was like, man, I'm good at this credit stuff, man. I'm actually pretty nice with
That's
this.
right.
That's how I felt when it came to selling. Now, I wasn't making the best money doing it for AT&T. The way the pay structure worked, they really held back a lot of people from making good money. But I was learning a lot. It was testing me. It was putting me in a super uncomfortable position, having to go to people's house, bother them on their day off or something, and communicate with them and try to sell them a product at their house and get them to pay for it or not. They don't have to prepay, but like try to sell them a product right there at their house. You know, you got a young, you know, black dude and black dude trying to come through and like, hey, what's going on? How you doing? Like, man, I was awkward with it at first. It took a while. I read books, I watched podcasts, looked up, you know, different sellers and learned their you know, methods and stuff. I really put a lot of work in perfecting that craft of sales. Mastering
the craft.
I put a lot of work into it, and then I finally felt comfortable enough to where I was like, I'm gonna leave AT&T and go to Spectrum. You know, you heard, you know, reps from Alorica talk about it. You hear a lot of people talk about, oh yeah, they make money out there, man. If you can get out there and do it, they do. And you know, I really applied myself. I went into the training more focused than I ever have in my life. I went into this job more ready than I ever have in my life to be the best I could. And stats, like I got the pictures, proof, report proof. I was the reigning top agent for the 2 years that I was there in that call center.
Wow.
From my name being all on the wall and stuff. Anybody who watches this that works at Samsung, they can tell you, oh yeah, Michael Goergy, yeah, oh yeah, I know him. We know about him. I perfected it because I just wanted to be the best. I wanted to be a beast. I wanted to make good bit of money, and then I wanted to be able to message you and be like, Joe, check your boy out. You said you was going to create a money-making beast. Well, you did it. I mean, in all honesty, though, those challenges that I, you know, was able to overcome and stuff, it was all off of the strength that, man, Might have fumbled the play the first time, but I'm still going to be able to make them proud, and I'm still going to be able to take what I learned through all my interactions from you and still try to get where I want to be in life. Still worry about my goals, set my goals, stay focused, and really just work hard to achieve it. Any advice that I can give, my generation, of people that are really just trying to, get somewhere in life, get out your own way. Don't make no excuses for yourself. Get out of your own way and do it. Figure out a plan. Create some goals. None of this started until he asked me that question, what are your goals? I didn't know, and it's okay not to know because we are still young.
That's right.
This is our time to, really make our mistakes, learn from them. I made a lot of mistakes. I learned from them, but you can grow from them as well, too, and really take in all the knowledge you can when you meet people like this, I promise you. And that's even just not super successful people, but anybody you meet that's willing to give you some kind of advice. I heed all advice that's given to me. I don't never think I know it all because I don't. I used to think I would know it all as a kid, knew it all, but I don't. Even still at 23, I don't know it all. But
you know what's interesting about that? Even where I'm at, I may be having a conversation just like with a person, and if they say something, I'll absorb everything, and it may be just 10 seconds of a phrase. They say out of a 5-minute conversation, that 10-second, like, that's interesting. That's interesting. And I may calculate that phrase and be like, how can I use that? Guys, the key word is decisions. The key word is decisions.
Decisions.
What's important out of everything that you said, and as you spoke to the audience, was application. You applied, you learned, you applied, and you tried to master it. And I try to focus on that. That's important. I don't care if you are a trash guy, if you like on the back of a trash thing, like learn how can I jump off. Well, they don't do that no more because they got a machine that just comes down to pick up the can now. But whatever it is that you do, be the best at it. Like always, even if you just starting here and you at 10 an hour and you think this person next to you is at 12 an hour and this person, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is that you do, if everyone around you is at 10 an hour, you're like, well, I make 10 an hour and all 14 people are around me doing the same job and they got a bit more experience. Learn from those people and become better. Always, I don't care what you do. If you work at McDonald's, you work wherever, always apply yourself to master the job and become better. And by doing that is you will always not only just where you're at, move to a higher level. Even if you think that you're in that one role for a year, I'm like, man, there's no opportunities here. But what you have done is stood out from everyone else. So when there's a time for you, it'll be for you.
Absolutely. I fully believe in that. When it's your time, it'll be for you. I always say 2018 was like the worst year of my life because that's when, the stuff happened with MasterCredit. That's when I was going from job to job. 2018 was the worst year of my life. And I thought if anybody was talking to 2018 me, I'd be all down. I ain't never going to be able to get nowhere, man.
Really?
Just nowhere. But a lot of hard work to get away from 2018 me, man, and it paved off, especially once I started with Spectrum and really put mastered my craft. And the work you put into something, if you put in 50%, you're going to get 50% back. If you put in 75%, you're going to put in 75% back. You put in 100%.
There had to be something. There had to be something in 2018 that sparked you though. There had to be something that like gave you that like, man, like I'm down on myself, but there's something that just changed all of that. What would you say that was?
In all honesty, in all complete honesty, my older sister passed away. My older sister passed away. She was like the best of us. Straight A student, went to USC college. I mean, graduated with a high honors, the gold vest in high school, spoke, as the class, president at the graduation. Was coming up on her last few years of USC. And 9 days after her birthday, she passed away. Wow. And she was an angel. And at the time, I took it, angry. Why, God, like, out of all of us, especially at that time, too, because, I wasn't always a good kid, so especially at that time, like, out of all of us, like, she's the one. But after your few, month or two of, dwelling on it, being sad about it, you try to use it as a positive.
Right.
She worked hard in her life. She didn't get to fully live out her goals from that hard work. But she is still living through me. I'm alive. I'm breathing. She's still living through me. So if I can change my life, be successful, and be able to live out a successful life that she worked her whole life to be able to accomplish and didn't get to, I got to be able to at least do it for her.
That's powerful. That's powerful.
Right
This
there.
was a good episode. And I hope people like on the opposite side are like they see like, man, look at that young kid, 23 years old. 23 years old. If he could do it, I could do it. And I just gotta like push harder, because pretty much that's all it is. Either you gotta push harder, learn more, and execute. Continuously execution. And there is no failure. Like you don't fail. You just learn. I learn and I execute harder. I learn and I execute harder.
You don't fail, you just learn.
Yeah, you
don't fail, you just learn.
Yeah. So it is a wrap. Michael Goergy, man. Thank you. This was a good episode. Because it's one you can actually sit down and just sit back and watch and just listen and pay attention to everything. That was a powerful story.
I appreciate you having me on. I appreciate it. Hey, guys. YMA Nation right here. YMA Nation.
There it is. YMA Nation, guys. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It takes 5 seconds. Do it. Like, subscribe, and then make sure you enter the drawing for your chance to win $2,000. $2,000. It's gonna be a lot of people win like more than one time.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
I believe it.
So guys, we will see you on Wednesday for Real Estate Wednesday with Rebecca. She got some good gems to give you guys. We'll see you then.